making authentic birria with 4 kinds of dried chilies. Cooked low and slow, you're going to love this iconic Mexican dish. Welcome to Lawyer in the Kitchen. Today we're going to make a fantastic traditional Mexican, iconic Mexican dish, birria. It's essentially a Mexican stew. And as you look down here, you can see all the different kinds of peppers we have. So let's go through those first. I've got 3 Arbol peppers. Those are where the heat's going to come from. These are all flavor. The Arbol are the heat. 12 Guajillo, Guajillo, that's it. She said, all right, you might as well look at the next one. Then there's 5 Pasilla, and 5 Anchos. And we're going to take the stems off, take the seeds, rinse them, and then we're going to cook them, simmer them for about 10 minutes, get them all nice and soft. We're in that original sauce, we're going to put half of a yellow onion, 5 cloves of garlic, 1 Mexican cinnamon stick. This was not a Mexican cinnamon stick. That's about the only thing I couldn't get. 3 bay leaves, 1 tomato. The other ingredients are 2 cups of beef broth, some Mexican oregano, about a ½ teaspoon, 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, and we have about a ½ teaspoon of cumin, ½ teaspoon of salt, and about a ½ teaspoon of ground cloves. And as you can see, we're going to have about 4 pounds of chuck. We're going to cut that into chunks, and we're going to sear it up. And then, of course, we're going to cook it low and slow in the sauce that we can do out of the blender. Probably drain or strain that, and we're going to put this all together. It takes a little bit of time to do this. You can cut them up, cut the stems off with a knife. We're going to get all these seeds out. And then inside is also, if you look at this, I'm going to open this one up. There's this little piece where the seeds grow. We're going to pull that out as well. And then the rest of the seeds should come out. And that goes way down in there. So there's a lot of seeds. There's kind of like a little internal stalk that the seeds are on. And we're going to pull all that out. You're not going to get all the seeds out, but we're going to get 99% of them. So this is now ready to go in some boiling water. As soon as this boils, we're going to cook this we're going to simmer it for 10 minutes. So here comes all our chilies. We're going to put the tomato in, the whole tomato, the half of a yellow onion, 5 cloves of garlic, the peppercorns, about a ½ teaspoon of peppercorns, the cinnamon stick, and the rest of this we're going to wait until after we cook this. I'm going to go ahead and do these 3, but I'm going to get these on the stove. And we want to make sure they're covered. So let me get a spoon. I'm going to push them down. If we need more water, we'll do it. That looks good. We're going to use about ½ cup or a cup, ½ cup to a cup of this water actually in the sauce as well. These are the Arbol. Here's the heat. If you want it hotter, this is medium, about medium. If you want it hotter than that, put more in there. Put this in the pot. As soon as it boils, turn it down to simmer for 10 minutes. Birria is a traditional Mexican stew from the state of Jalisco. Birria is a centuries-old dish that was originally made from goat. Early on, goat was inexpensive but somewhat tough, so it was cooked long and slow. Barbacoa is a Caribbean Indian term from which American barbecue derives, but unlike cooking on a grill, barbacoa is a steaming baking process. Some say barbacoa is cooked in a pit or earth oven. The Gonzalez brothers brought this ancient dish to Los Angeles in 2015. They made birria and birria tacos in a food truck. Authentic birria is now a favorite dish all over the United States. We are making ours as authentically as the original, but with beef. All right, so we're going to cut the chuck roast into chunks. I can tell you right now, this is already tough. And our chilies are boiling, so I'm going to turn those down. And I'm going to have to put some more water in there. We want them covered. And I don't know how this compares to goat in terms of toughness, but if you're making a beef stew, you know you got to cook it for hours to get it nice and tender. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to have to cook this in probably half at a time. And so the next thing we're going to do is sear this with some salt and pepper and put it aside, and then we're going to make the sauce in about 10 minutes. All right, it's time to sear the meat. Now, I know some people cook without searing meat, and you're missing a lot of flavor, but it takes a little bit longer. You just want to caramelize this. There's another word for it. I think I've used in another video, and I don't remember what it is right now. All right, so we're going to get this nice and warm and get some salt and pepper on the meat and sear it up. We'll probably do it in 3 batches because we don't want it crowding each other. Hit this a little bit of salt. And then we'll put some more on when we get it in the pan. And I'm going to turn it down. We just want to brown it. We don't want to burn it. Get some tongs. My wife insists I do this. Is it 4 or 3? And I'm going to put a little bit more oil. It's been 3-4 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and flip them over. Look at that. That's nice. That's exactly what you want. Look at the brown on that. All right. Another 3-4 minutes. We'll cook the rest of it. Getting close. All right, so we are finished with the meat. Now it's time to get the sauce ready. We'll leave this here. We're going to take this off, and then we're going to do the sauce. Okay, it's time to load up the blender. And I'm not sure what the best way to do is. We want to make sure to take the cinnamon out, unless you have Mexican cinnamon, because this will not grind up well. Slotted spoon. We're going to put everything in here. There we go.
The tongs wouldn't be better?
The tongs, I don't know. You know, they might be. Let me try it. And I don't know if all this is going to fit. You haven't seen my cinnamon stick yet, have you? We don't want to lose any of those chilies, though. Oh, we just lost a chili. I think I am going to strain this. Yeah. We definitely have some other stuff in there. And some garlic. There we go. All right. Peppercorns, everything's going in there. We're going to put a cup of this broth. So now we add the 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar, 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, 1/2 teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, this is 2 cups of beef broth, and here comes a cup right at it of the actual hot liquid from cooking these peppers. All right, so when you've got hot liquid in a blender, you want to leave the top open a little bit. So I'm just going to cover that. I got stuff all over the place. This is a little messy. Yeah, it's all right. You're going to do this for about 5 minutes. You really want this blended well. So about 5 minutes. All right, this has been 5 minutes. And I'm going to strain this one last time. Man, that smells good. Can you smell it?
Not yet.
Not yet. All right, so we may need a spatula to push it down. We got a couple of seeds in there, but not very much that I can tell. I think this is worth every second you take to do this, because this sauce is going to be rich and creamy. we're almost down to the dry part. We don't lose any of this. All right, so that's all we have for solids left. We're going to throw that out, and then we're ready to put the meat in here and simmer it for 4 hours. All right, so we're going to put the meat in. Just nestle it. Oh, look at that. That looks so good. This is going to cook. This is going to be tender. And by the way, we're putting all this juice in there. We are going to shred this meat. Look how rich that sauce is. Go ahead and get that in there. All right. Ready to put this on. Just a low simmer, very low, 4 hours. I'll see you back. And you do need to cover it. All right. All right, so this has been cooking for an hour, and this is the simmer we have on it. That's looking good. We're just going to put the cover back on and let it go another 3 hours. This has cooked a full 4 hours. I'm ready to take the lid off. Come have a look at this. That looks right. I've got a couple of forks. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off.
So you leave it in its juice.
We're going to leave it in the juice. We're going to leave it in its juice and shred. And this is shredding nicely. This is super tender. Oh, look at that. Come watch this. That is absurdly tender. All right, so I'm gonna try and get this over here because I still got some more. I'm gonna put the shredded on this other side here. Take the rest, few pieces we have left here. Man, that sauce looks fantastic. Did you taste it? All right. All right, so we're going to mix this well up in the sauce. All right, there we are. Birria, getting ready to taste it. We're ready to taste. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of lime on it. Get a little bit of onion, a little bit of the meat, a little cilantro. All right. That has tremendous depth. I think it's one of the best things I've ever made. This is tasty. What do you think?
That has so many different flavors in it.
It does. It's all those chilies. It's just a ton of chilies.
You can't even decide what flavor you're tasting.
No, it's really good. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe. If you comment, I will respond. And I will see you next time on...
While you're in the kitchen.